I think this sounds crazy. That's usually where they relax. When I admit that, when I give them that small concession, it makes the rest easier for them to hear. But the night I killed my mother, I was not confused. I was not angry. I was certain. It started weeks before that night. Small fractures, hairline cracks in the way she moved, the way she stood too still when she thought I wasn't looking. Mid-sentence, her face would flatten, expression gone, not neutral, empty. Then it would return. Smile, warmth, recognition, like someone switching channels. At dinner she held her fork differently. Not wrong, just studied, like she had learned how and was repeating the motion carefully. When she laughed, it came half a second late. I began watching her blink. You don't realize how imperfect blinking is until you study it. It's irregular, asymmetrical, organic. Hers became timed, even, measured. I told myself she was tired. I told myself I was overthinking. But there was the smell. That's what I can't shake. It wasn't constant. It wasn't overwhelming. Just faint. Sterile, like disinfectant layered beneath perfume, like a hospital corridor pretending to be a kitchen. The first time I noticed it clearly, she hugged me, her arms wrapped around me, too firm, too balanced, and when my face pressed against her shoulder, I smelled it, sharp, chemical, clean in a way human skin never is. I froze. She pulled back slowly, still smiling. "What's wrong?" she asked. But the words didn't sit right in her mouth. They felt rehearsed. The whole way was the confirmation. It was 2:17 in the morning. I woke because I felt watched, not anxiety, not imagination. Wait, presence. I opened my eyes. The bedroom door was cracked. She was standing in the hallway, no light on, just the faint blue from the street outside. She wasn't breathing. I listened. Nothing. Her chest did not rise. Her shoulders did not shift. She simply occupied space. "Mom?" I whispered, her head tilted, too smooth, too precise. She smiled in the dark. For a moment I thought I was dreaming, so I pinched myself hard. Pain bloomed instantly, real, immediate. She didn't react, not when I winced, not when I whispered, "You're not breathing." Her chest remained still, perfectly still. And that was when fear turned into responsibility, because if she wasn't breathing, whatever was wearing her didn't need to. I stepped into the hallway. The air smelled sterile again, stronger now. I said, "Take it off!" My voice trembled. "Take it off!" She stepped closer, not with imbalance, not with weight. Too even, too smooth. Her mouth opened, and when she spoke, the voice was layered, two frequencies slightly misaligned. "You're tired." My mother never said that when I was afraid. She would have asked what was wrong. This thing diagnosed me. I ran to the kitchen. The knife was in my hand before I remember picking it up. Metal is grounding, cold, certain. When I turned back, she was already in the doorway. No footsteps, no rush, just there. Watching, studying, the smell filled the room. I stepped forward. She stepped forward. I pressed the blade against her chest. She didn't flinch, not even when it pierced skin. No human stands still when steel touches them. I pushed. The blade slid in too easily. There was resistance, but wrong resistance. Uniform, packed, like layered fabric stretched tight. Her mouth opened. A sound escaped. Not pain, confusion, recognition. Her eyes locked onto mine, and for 1 second the smile faltered. Something human flickered there, something pleading. I stabbed again and again, because the smile didn't disappear. It held, frozen, artificial. The third time She gasped my name, clear, not layered, not distorted, just my name. That's the part that won't leave me, because I don't know if that was the demon slipping or my mother coming back too late. She collapsed. The knife hit tile. The kitchen smelled metallic now, real, overpowering. I knelt beside her, my hands pressed against her face. The skin felt human, warm, soft, torn. For a second, beneath the wound, I thought I saw white. Smooth, featureless. But maybe it was bone. Maybe it was shock. Maybe it was my mind reaching for something to justify what I had done. The neighbors found me rocking her. They say she begged me to stop. They say she was screaming my name, human, terrified. I don't remember that version, but sometimes I hear it anyway. When I woke up here, everything was white. Walls, ceiling, floor, soft, padded, featureless. My arms were wrapped tight across my chest. A restraint vest, they call it. For safety. They say I was violent. They say I'm unwell. The first night here, I woke with dried blood under my fingernails, brown, flaking. They said it was from before, from the arrest, but I don't remember scratching anyone, and the inside of the vest had tiny tears in the fabric, small, like something sharp had pressed from the inside. They told me I must have struggled. I don't remember struggling. I remember sleeping. The staff wear white, white coats, white shoes, white gloves. They move calmly, measured. They ask if I understand what happened. They ask if I feel remorse. Sometimes when they lean close, I smell it again. Sterile, chemical, and my heart starts racing. Because what if they're wearing skin too? Yesterday a nurse leaned in to check my pulse. At her wrist the skin looked smooth, too smooth, no texture, no pores, just pale beneath fluorescent light. My hand twitched, just slightly. I imagined grabbing her wrist, twisting, pressing something sharp into the seam, just to see what spills out. The thought was calm, not angry, scientific, and that frightened me more than anything, because if they're human, that thought is monstrous, and if they're not, it's survival. They give me white pills. They dissolve slowly. After I swallow them, the edges soften. The certainty fades. The memory of the white beneath her skin becomes less solid, less sharp. The sterile smell dulls, and that terrifies me, because if the medication makes the demons disappear, what does that mean? Sometimes when they leave the room, I press my fingernails into my own arm, hard, until the skin reddens, until pain blooms. I wait for white, for plaster beneath, for something artificial, but it's just blood, just human, just me. They show me photographs of her smiling, of birthdays, of holidays. They describe the autopsy, clinical, precise, human tissue, human bone, human blood, no anomalies, no white beneath. They say I stabbed her 12 times. They say she cried. They say she begged. And sometimes, when I close my eyes, I see her, not as a demon, not smiling, not distorted, just human, eyes wide with fear, calling my name. And I remember something I didn't want to. When the first knife went in, she gasped, clear, human. When the second went in, she cried, not layered, not doubled, just one voice breaking. I told myself it was acting. I told myself it was mimicking pain. I told myself if I went deeper, the white would show. Proof I wasn't killing my mother. But the proof never came. Only blood, only bone, only her. Now when the corridor smells sterile, when the walls glow white, when I study their blinking, I don't know if I'm detecting something inhuman or searching for something that excuses me, because if they're demons, then I'm a survivor. If they're not, then I am the thing that mistook love for disguise. And I don't know which truth is worse, the idea that monsters walk in white coats, or the idea that I do. I think this sounds crazy. And for the first time, I'm afraid it is.